There's a point you want to lose, the leads. So you said something about leads. Can I collect leads within LinkedIn? Like, how does that, I've never seen that piece.
How it really works. So yes, you can collect leads on LinkedIn, but leads are an element that's attached to an ad campaign. So when you're running an advertising campaign on LinkedIn, then you can attach a lead form. And I'm going to assume that we have marketers in the call, but just in case we don't, it's basically a form where the person who sees the ad has the option to learn more or sign up, and they can leave their phone number, their email, their first name, last name, or whatever other details you want to collect. The benefit with the lead forms that sit on LinkedIn is that they pre-populate based on what the member already has on their profile. So say, for example, I'm running an ad and you click to learn more or you click to sign up, it will pre-populate your name, it will pre-populate your email if you already have it on your LinkedIn, and your phone number if you already have it on your LinkedIn profile. So for you, you're just verifying that that's the data and you click submit. So it saves you the trouble of having to retype it. There are lots of other features that are built into the lead generation forms, depending on what the client is trying to achieve. And we can definitely, we help clients figure this out to ensure that you've got a lead gen form that delivers the right content for you to be able to turn that into a converted client or a customer. But it is a factor of an ad.
I see. So today, if I go to Facebook, Facebook has a very easy ad promote this type of feature, and you go just click, $50, add my credit card, boom, my ad is running. Is that the same case with LinkedIn? Is it easy? Do I have to call Nelly and be like, Nelly, and also, how rich do I have to be to advertise on LinkedIn? I guess it's a question I have.
Okay. So the campaign manager it's not complicated. Granted, it's not as straight, it's not similar to a lot of the other social media campaign manager platforms. It's a little bit different, and it's different because of how the targeting is done on LinkedIn. But it's also not hard to use. So we do have a lot of people who use the self-service platform to run their campaigns. A lot of companies do it, and the some who are happy to continue doing it. They don't need any help. Now, the difference comes in where now we as StandLeft come in. As a LinkedIn partner, there are certain services that are not available on self-serve. So that some of those features around some of those ads, you can only access if you go through a partner because they're not available on self-service. But that still does not limit you. There's still a lot you can do on the campaign manager comfortably on your own. With your credit card, run the campaigns. Now, the other difference, and I feel that this also comes up a lot, is the pricing strategy. Now, the pricing on LinkedIn is very different from the pricing on the other social media platforms. And when I say different, I mean it's actually higher. But when you look at the value that you get out of LinkedIn, it becomes, when you take time to compare the value that you get from LinkedIn versus the other platform, then the cost doesn't seem that high. It's not even high at all, because you will probably get 1,000 leads on this side and get 100 leads on LinkedIn. But when you come to convert, you're probably getting better conversion on this 100 versus the conversion on the 1,000. So also there's still that little difference. So yes, when it comes to pricing, the prices from the top, when you're just looking at the numbers and comparing, we might seem a bit more pricey. But when you compare in terms of outcome, the outcomes definitely justify what you've spent.
I see. And is there a minimum amount I need to be willing to spend on LinkedIn for me to be able to advertise?
No, there really isn't. The only thing is that LinkedIn requires a minimum of $10 per day bid. So there really isn't any other limitation.
Yeah. Okay. So let me read this question. I'm now on Q&A because I can see we are almost done.
Okay.
So let's see. Matthew says, unlike other social media platforms where high-profile individuals' accounts are managed, scale of 1 to 10, how much can you vouch for LinkedIn that due to its seriousness, actually these individuals use or post on their own? So we're talking about the Bill Gateses and the Chris Kirubis of this world. So basically, these high-profile folks who post on LinkedIn, is it really them? Or is it like Twitter where we know there's a whole social media team behind the guy? So even if I tweet him, if he tweets back, I shouldn't be too excited because it's some intern somewhere who's replying to me actually.
So I can't say for sure that it's 100% they're posting for themselves, because I think that would also be a fallacy. However, remember that these high-end professionals are in a space where their peers are. So they will engage with their peers. So they will put out content themselves. So you might find that some of the content that's put out from their profiles might not be them actively putting out themselves, but the engagement that is there from their profiles is actually their personal engagement. They're the ones who comment, who like, who engage with other people's content, because they are engaging with their peers, because their peers are on the platform. But yes, as I said, it's not foolproof in terms of who's putting the content, but in terms of the engagement, most often than not, it's actually the individual himself who's putting out the content, who's engaging on the content.
Wow, believe it or not, an hour is actually over.
We need to have another session.
I know, man. Just maybe any last words you might have for any. If I leave here today, what's the one thought I should be leaving here with that could elevate my LinkedIn profile starting tomorrow or starting tonight?
I think I would like to borrow from a lot of my own personal experience and from a lot of people I've spoken with. LinkedIn is not a place to put out your CV and come back when you're job hunting or come back when you're hoping to change jobs. LinkedIn is a platform where you engage with other professionals and present yourself to your current and future employer. So my experience has been, I've actually gotten 3 jobs in the past in my career. And the first one was as early as 2011. I think it was around 2011 when someone actually, a HR person reached out to me on LinkedIn and we had a conversation, we took it offline and I got hired. And it's happened 3 times after that. And I've had the same from other people. I know that people who get very impatient in that if I'm looking for a job now and I'm on LinkedIn every day for the next 1 month and I don't get a job, then LinkedIn doesn't work. So there's that impatience that I would like to probably tell people, don't come to LinkedIn with that one only goal, because you could get lucky or you could get disappointed. Things don't always work out the way you want them to. I would suggest consider using the platform to continuously engage and network and build your profile and connect with people who might not necessarily be of value now, but will be in another 6 months, in another year. And at the same time, take some time to take on some courses. There's so much to do on LinkedIn. I honestly, sometimes I actually feel like I don't have enough time to enjoy as much of LinkedIn as I would like to. But that's because for me, I've been heavy on LinkedIn even before I started working with the team. But for a lot of other people, it might be, an acquired taste. So I would say take your time, kind of complete your profile, get to understand how things work, try and consume some of that content that's there, try and take some of the courses, the free courses that are available. And slowly with time, you'll see the benefits.